Hi guys, I'm Shmee, hello, and welcome back to the channel where it's time for something I'm really quite excited about, to prepare my Ferrari SF90 Stradale for winter. Now, when I picked this car up in Italy and drove it back in Germany, I did drive through a little bit of snow, which on Sport Cup 2 tyres, I do not recommend. So today, we're going to be heading over to Whoops to swap it to some winters, to get it ready for a bit of an adventure when I get back from my next run over to the US. But that is not all, as you can see, because one of the problems, we could say, with this car is due to having the electric motors up front, you basically lose all of the luggage space. There is a very small amount there, there's a very small amount behind the seats, but there is certainly not enough to go on a big adventure, and we have a solution for that as well. A roof box that I need to find out if it's going to work using some suction bars or suction cups and bars that today we're going to be testing before, if all is well, we're going to be taking this to do something else with it that I shall explain momentarily. Let's give this a go and see if we can get the SF90 ready to go find some snow. Let me explain each of the things we've got here. Now, when I posted that I was going to go and get a roof box, a lot of people thought it would end up being for the STO, which by the way has a roof snorkel. I don't think a snorkel and a roof box work particularly well together. That would probably be a problem. Plus, we've seen quite a few Lambos with roof boxes, but I'm not sure we've seen a whole lot of Ferraris. Now, of course, the SF90 Stradale is hardly made for a roof box. So that's why we've got a little bit of a workaround with this, and I wanted to find a very specific one. But before we get to that, winter tyres, an absolute must. The SF90 is a four-wheel drive car with the electric motor system, but you can have it with either, I think, PS4Ss or Sport Cup 2s. I opted to have Sport Cup 2, wonderful summer tyre, but if you do find some snow, far from ideal. Hence, we have a set here of Michelin Pilot Alpines that I've bought, the spec and right size, etc. Quite hard to track down. There aren't exactly loads of them around. But I mentioned the SF90, which is a wonderful daily car. I drive it a lot, which, considering it's a 1,000 horsepower hybrid Ferrari, is a little bit crazy to think about, but practicality is not where this excels. In fact, to show you in the front, if I open this up, open, there we go. In here, that's about all you get. Which, as you can see, once you've put your charging cables in that little case and you've got some high-vis jackets for driving across Europe, you're going to fit like one small bag and not a whole lot else. That is one of the reasons why, if you want to go away for a week, and I've got somewhere really cool to take this car for a week, stay tuned for this, you need to do something about it. And that is how I found myself landing on this combination. So in here, I have bought the SeaSucker Monkey Bars, which literally have these suctions plus the roof bars underneath, which I'm going to get out in just a second and start trying to install these as a bit of a test to then put this on. Now, I went looking for a very specific roof box, a Thule roof box, but one that discontinued a couple of years ago because it's quite lightweight and it's very low profile, long and sleek, and has a cool design. And as it happens, by complete coincidence, it's the same one that my friend Sam, seen through glass, actually used on his Drive the World tour on his 911T, his Carrera T. Now, because Thule don't produce them anymore and because you can't buy them, by complete coincidence, we worked out that Volvo actually sell a rebranded version of the same thing, which they still sell. The Design Space 420, I think it's called. This is one of those that we picked up from Volvo cars in North London, which I'm going to need to unpack and learn from the very top how exactly it works to get it on the car as a bit of a test fit before, assuming all is well, we're not going to be leaving it like this. So I need to do the test fit first and then show you what I'm going to be doing with it. I think step one is going to be to clean the roof. It's a little bit dusty. Step two, get the suction bars on. Step three, get some help to put this in place. Step four, load up the van with the tyres to drive them over to Whoops. And then once those are swapped over, step five, the next step with this. This is where, thanks to our new Topaz detailing corner that we have here, with all of the products you can imagine, thankfully, microfiber, quick detailer, can give this a little bit of a spray down just to make sure we're working from a clean base. Now, I do want to touch a little bit on the fact that obviously this roof is PPF'd, because suction pads, PPF, we need to talk about that, obviously, but we shall get to that once we have done the first tests effectively, because I think step one is to work out, does it fit? Does it clear the antenna? which UK cars have as part of the digital radio. To be honest, I would prefer to have no antenna and I don't care about digital radio because I use my phone for that kind of thing anyway. Now, onto the SeaSuckers. So we need to take off these pads and work out exactly how this is all going to go on. These have to be put on quite a specific way. It'll be something like that, I think. We'll obviously get them towards the front. And then this one, if it's that way or maybe it's that way, I'll double check the guides to make sure we're doing it right. I know from doing one test fit before that the bars give the impression they're going to clear this fine, but it's when we try and mount the roof box that I need to be absolutely sure. I want to have them as close to the edge as possible for the maximum support, because obviously this isn't a roof that's made for this purpose. Normally you would be attaching roof boxes to roof bars that are on permanent mount points on the roof of a car. Not many people try this, so we're hoping it's all going to go completely to plan. Let me go check the instructions. I should add that I've bought all of this stuff, so I hope that I've bought the right things that I actually need. This is one of the roof bars, so these screw in, and then in theory the roof box will attach to this. I'm hoping that this can slide through here, having just loosely put the bars in. Does this go all the way through? That's how you attach them. We'll do it properly later. For the time being, this is all trial and error. And yes, I appreciate it is a very random thing to be doing. Obviously, it's going to leave marks on the PPF. I'm fully committed to having to change the PPF whatever happens, but you just do that a little bit and it then holds in. On we go with the second one. So that goes through like this. This is not attached at all on this side at the moment. Give that a little bit of a squeeze. Obviously it will all be tightened into place and done properly in a moment. These are all on. They are not in final positions or fully secured. I've just tightened up the bolts a little bit, done the suctions a little bit tougher so that everything's kind of, at least to test, secure to pop this on. So let us open up my Volvo branded gloss black roof box, which will actually match quite nicely with that roof, for the moment at least. This is 320 litres of luggage space, so quite a decent amount really, more than you would get normally. In fact, I can tell you the Lusso's boot itself is about 385 litres, I want to say, so significantly expanding the luggage capacity of the SF90 here. And I'll need a magic hand here to help lift it up. It weighs 18 kilos, so it's not that heavy. And we've got to see where the clamps are underneath. We're kind of in. Well, do we go over the antenna? Oh, that's going to take some work. So this is going to be quite interesting. The antenna has to go through here. It has to sit in this. So it has to be perfectly centered. Otherwise, that's not going to work. These move, these clamp arms, these can slide forwards and backwards to make sure we've got the right fit. Standing back though, it looks cool. Okay, how to do this, how to get this right. Let me see what I can do here. Lift it up at the front, slide it in, carefully does it. Does that touch? No, it doesn't touch. It's just missing. It just misses. Oh, that could not be better. Wow. We have the keys for this up here. Let me see if I can grab one of these out. Easier said than done. This goes in here. I think you can open this from both sides. Here we go. Is that unlocked? How do you open it? How does this actually lift up? Ah, it could be that there's some packaging stopping it. That's probably causing some issues. Okay, and at the back as well? No, the back looks like it's out the way. So this should just go up, maybe. Caught on something. There we go. Right. Cool. Progress. What's this? I don't even know. Some straps, an instruction book even, and these quick sliding mechanisms, which are all about getting the right mounting point. So you slide them up and then decide where it's going to go exactly. The next thing that we have to do I'll take some skis and put them in the box on the Ferrari. Now, some of you might know, I actually used to be a ski instructor. I used to ski a whole lot until I had a really bad injury. I actually managed to break 3 vertebrae, which was kind of the end of that. Still go every now and then, but can't go and do as much as I used to. Anyway, inside my douche bag here from Unolson, we have a set of old and very beaten up skis that I've got here at the moment, which I'm going to put into the roof box. So let me just open this up. This bag has been well travelled, brightly coloured. There's a bit of a theme here. Let me get this opened again. You can actually open it from either side, which is kind of convenient. Lift this up. There we go. That caught a little bit. We've got some poles. We've got some twin tip skis. And in theory, very carefully doing this because of the car, we can just put those inside there, and the poles as well. Who would ever have thought it? Skis and poles in a roof box above an SF90 Stradale. Now, I suppose, I can take off all of these bits. That was actually really quite well stuck down for all of the packaging being delivered here. Right, remove this, the last bit of the film over the top. Look at that. We've got the Volvo branding. These are just stickers, so they can come off. But this is how it looks now. This is not how it's going to stay looking. Tell you what though, it looks really smart. It actually looks way more natural than I ever would have expected on the car. It's really cool. And I like the design at the front of this particular one, having this quite angular front, which matches with how angular the front of the SF90 is. Fits. It fits really well. So, packaging out the way, we'll need to grab the van for all of this, and then we can go and try it and see how it works. I've been around all of the corners to make sure the suction pads are held securely, to tighten up all of the bolts that you see in here, to make sure every one of those is fully secured. And, well, to the best of my ability, the car is shaking before there's any movement in that. We're very lucky with the shark fin under there, how it just misses. It's so close. But thankfully, it works out perfectly. So all of these are completely tightened. You basically press all of these pushers, but that's fully in place, and it looks like it will do the job. In comes the Ford Transit Custom MSRT, the most suitable machine for today's operation. We've actually got a few other things that we're taking over as well, but we've got lots of space here. The two fronts, these are actually surprisingly heavy. Obviously, completely different tread pattern on winter tyres, but these can hopefully go carefully on there, and we'll go throw in the rears as well. Might roll these ones to make my life a little bit easier, and then we'll get straight on the road to Whoops. Now this is a little bit unusual. I'm driving in electric mode in a Ferrari with a roof box. I'm not sure many people have ever tried that. Let me go into performance. But all seems pretty well. We've got the Transit right behind me, just to keep their eyes on anything funny that might happen. Not that it should, of course, because this is rated to much faster than we're about to drive, and it's got no weight in it right now, and it's all fully secured down. Obviously, it is on PPF, but PPF is really strong against paintwork, like really, really strong. And in fact, I remember when Damon from DDE did a test with a roof box on suction pads on a wrap, and it stayed on until something like 170 miles per hour, and even then it was the roof box that came away from the bars as opposed to the bars coming away or the suction pads coming away from the wrap. So this shouldn't be a problem. We're going to take it easy though for this little cruise around at the moment, hopefully get some cool shots, because I mean, this is just unusual, right? This is just really, really odd. So Brad is somewhere over my shoulder in the van, probably getting some nice clips of this thing on the road with its roof box. I'm definitely glad though that we have at least one practical vehicle in the lineup, a practical vehicle to transport multiple loads of wheels and tyres, but also to use as a bit of a support car, because you never know when you might have your Ferrari with a box on the roof and you might want to just be out doing something that's unusual. One thing that's a really pleasant surprise about this is that I've not heard any wind noise from it at all. I've only driven at 60 miles an hour or so, but I've not heard anything from above me. Now, the SF90 Stradale, road car Stradale, I've said that many times, has pretty good sound insulation. It's a wonderful, magnificent thing to be driving. But I'm genuinely surprised not to hear like a whole load of wind buffeting from up above. But yeah, can't complain. This is super smooth. This is so easy. It's exactly what I was hoping it would be like. We have arrived at Whoops, We'll Fix It. So I need to work out where exactly we can park up this car to not block the road. Maybe I'm going to squeeze through here and then we'll go bit by bit. Carefully does it. Getting straight on with this then. Get it lifted up. Yep, they like to do that. The automatic locking of the SF90. Stop it. Stop beeping. It's going to do that again and again and again. But hopefully we can get both done at once on the same side. I've got the titanium bolts in here, which obviously come with having the forged wheels. This is actually standard, or rather compulsory. You have to have this as an option, which needs a specific hex tool to get that removed. With the Sport Cup 2s and with the Pilot Alpines, interesting observation is that the Sport Cup 2s are slightly wider. Here we're 315/30 ZR20. These are 305/30 R20. Just like on the GT Black Series, actually, when I went from Cup 2Rs to regular Cup 2s, they got slightly narrower also, and I think it's the same story for the fronts. What do we have here? 245/35/20, and these, where are they? Where are the numbers? And here 255/35/20. Yeah, so slightly narrower front and rear. And gently down we go onto its new tyres. We're going to be taking the old ones away with us, of course, because they need to head to the museum. This one's going to go pop. There we go. Caught the moment. Right, these need balancing and then fitting. Nice and easy. We are all done, lowered back down, ready to go. So we shall hop in here. I do really love the interior spec of this car, and get ourselves ready, drive out in electric, of course, to head to the next stop. There we go. Right, onwards. Out we go then. And then from here to Godleman's to explain the other part of this process. So the original Cup 2s are now in the back of the van. And we are going to, put the radio on there. Carefully does it. Just finished the cold start sequence. Back into hybrid, which basically means electric. Peaceful, silent. It's such a nice car to drive. And you have so little awareness of the roof box other than if you lean forward. And you can just see the front of it poking out. Oh yeah, off we go. Darkness has fallen, but we arrive now here at Godleman's, who resprayed the Clio V6 and have done a whole host of different things for various of my cars. But we now need to pull this down, get the roof box pulled off it, and take it inside to explain what is coming up next. This shouldn't be too complicated, but now it is a case of removing this. So again, you can open it from either side, lift it all the way up. It seems to be a bit caught. There we go. Get that open. And then just unscrew all of these as far as I can. I guess I could technically have gone around the other side to do the other one, but this is working fine. Are we open enough on those? Yes. Do the front ones. I wonder if I'm going to end up doing this like on the go somewhere. I don't know, but for the time being, it seems to work pretty easily. We sufficiently off? Yes. I guess I'll take these things out now. It's easier to do that while it's still open. Pop those in there. This is going to be ready to close down and lift up. So down we go. Lock it, key back in pocket, borrow some help from Tom, and then we can lift it off. Just like that. There we go. Well, that was easy. And now, when we put this down inside, I think I should explain exactly what we're going to do with it. So, popping this over here, you might have been able to guess this already. Probably. But if you haven't, the plan is that this is going to be painted Blu Elettrico. The upper sections are going to be painted in the same colour as the car. Obviously we'll still have the black for the handles, for the under sections. The Volvo graphic will come off, but watch this space because that might become something interesting. But it's certainly going to be paint matched because why not roll with it? Why not play with it? So that's the idea. That's why we're here at Godleman's in their trusted and capable hands to make this look fantastic, just as they have done with the F1 car, the Clio V6, and a bunch of other little things that they've done for me as well along the way. So yeah, that's the intention for now. We're gonna get back on the road, but we're gonna leave the bars on for now. That needs to be tighter. That's why you check. That one's rigid. This one definitely has a tiny bit of movement in it. Tiny, tiny, tiny bit, but it should be easily doable to fix. In fact, I prepared for this in case that was gonna happen and brought the various things that we would need with us. But I'm not gonna do it now. It's been fine for the drive. We don't have too far to go, so it should be all right. Yeah, magic. Let's hop in. Let's hop in and get this journey continued. We're back. I've just tightened up that loose connection on the top, so we're all good on that front. I'm going to state the obvious at this point though. There might have been an easier solution to this, given I've got a four-wheel drive Ferrari with lots of practicality that's already on winter tyres. But where would be the fun in taking the simple route? I figure, given how much I enjoy this car and how many more miles I want to enjoy with this car, not that I don't enjoy the Lusso, that this would be a fun, different alternative, because how often do you see a roof box, paint matched, we'll get to that in due course, on a 1,000 horsepower V8 Ferrari supercar? I mean, to me, this is cool. I hope you guys agree that it's something a little bit different. Now, I could leave these on, technically, but I think I'm probably going to try and remove them. And basically, you just do that, and that comes off. I don't know what it's going to leave by way of marks on the PPF, but like I said, I committed myself to needing new PPF when I decided to start doing this. That actually comes off more easily than I probably expected it would. Obviously, this is all bolted together, so when it comes to putting it back on, all I've got to do is use the marks that are already on the roof, drop it there, tighten it down, and that's it. Is that literally it? Is that all I need to... It's kind of concerning how easy that is, actually. But it certainly seems to hold on. We were driving at 70 miles an hour on the M25 on the way back to base, so job done. Take these off. Carefully put them out the way for the moment. Don't want to dirty the underside of the suction pads. And we have the SF90 back to normal business while the roof box gets painted up in this lovely multi-layer Blu Elettrico. We've got the paint code. We're all set. Yeah, I think I'm going to be heading off to the US. Well, I know I'm going to be heading off to the US in a couple of days' time. That will be done upon my return in a month or so. Ready to take this onwards on the next pretty cool adventure. So that's it for now. Thank you to the team at Whoops for their help to get the tyres swapped over. Thank you to the team at Godleman's for their help to get the roof box painted up. And yeah, looking forward to this one. So I look forward to sharing the next adventures with the SF90 with you guys. That's it for now though. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you very soon. Cheers.